Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back in the Shima. It's been a little while since we've been in the Shima. But after getting my crap pushed in every ship that I've jumped in today by torpedoes, I have felt compelled to bring out a torpedo boat to end all torpedo boats. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go out here, we're going to have a little bit of fun in the Shima, and we're going to ruin the day of torpedo boats everywhere. So, let's get right into it. Now, I don't know about you guys, but there is nothing in this game that frustrates me more than destroyers. Nothing. Aircraft carriers don't bother me as much as destroyers. HE spammers don't bother me as much as destroyers. Destroyers in this game are easily the most broken class in the game. And anybody that argues other than that has no idea what they're talking about. Now, I know that's a terrible argument to make. When you start an argument with, well, anybody who disagrees with me doesn't know what they're talking about, it makes you sound like a bit of a pompous douchebag. I get that. Trust me, I do. And on that basis, I'm going to, make a claim as to why these things are so incredibly broken. I mean, first of all, let's just think about it. The concealment is the #1 reason they're incredibly broken. My Shima, 4.8 kilometers surface detection. 4.8 kilometers means I can get within 5 kilometers of you and you won't even know I exist. Why is that a big deal? I don't know. Maybe the fact that I carry 15 demon fish that have the capability of doing 23,000 damage each. It's over 300,000 damage alpha, or like an alpha strike, like straight up. Oh, and they start with them loaded already. It's not like they have to load the torpedoes. They come loaded right from the get-go. So they can launch these demon fish right off the bat. Now, you don't always hit anything, as I didn't there. You don't always hit anything with the opening salvo, but just the fact that you get 15 demon fish capable of 23,000 damage a shot right off the bat, that you can launch into gaps like that and catch people off guard that haven't done anything wrong, is incredibly broken. Now, with that being said, we have a Udachi and a Shima against me. Now, remember, I said that this entire gameplay was solely to ruin the game plan of all of these destroyers, right? My goal in this video was to ruin the lives of all of these destroyer captains that are out here, because nobody actually plays destroyers the way that they should be played, in my opinion. Now, obviously, I'm not an expert on destroyers, but I have a feeling like after, 6,000 games played that I've played, and I know that's not a lot. Give me a break, guys. I know there are elite players out there that put up 20,000 games. I get it. Calm down. I'm not talking to you. All right? For the rest of us that don't play 30 hours a day, we tend to not be able to get the best out of every single class, right? So, I'm a pretty solid battleship captain, but I'm okay in everything else. I am adequate as a cruiser captain. I am adequate as a destroyer captain. All right? And so, one of the things that I like to use my destroyers for is to find other destroyers, bait them into engagements that they are going to lose. Like the Shima, who has decided he wants to chase me down because he has a Udachi as backup, and I have a Suja. Who's going to win that engagement? Just say it. Now, he tries to throw a smoke because he realizes Suja is going to murder his face as he loses all of his hit points. Meanwhile, I'm firing the rear guns at him because I'm kiting away, and we're able to smash him in the mouth, and Suja is about to finish him off. So, well done to the Shima. Now, here's the unfortunate side of a Shima. This Suja knows he screwed up, and he does the worst thing that you can possibly do after you've engaged a Shima, and that is give it a broadside. Because it's almost impossible at that point to dodge all of the demon fish that are heading in your direction as he takes one torpedo and loses pretty much all his hit points. Not preferable. Now, anybody saw those torpedoes coming. Like, I knew those torpedoes were coming. Why do you think I ran to the island? You know they're coming. But you make a mistake, you go broadside on, and he's asking for me to light the Yudachi up, and I'm trying to let him know that that's what my plan is. And so I'm going to beeline it straight for that Yudachi. Unfortunately, the Conqueror and the Yamato on the enemy team are not going to allow me to have this fight with this Suja any longer. The Suja is about to get removed because, you know, battleships can actually hit things once in a while. It's rare, but it does happen. And that Conqueror punishes our Suja and finishes him off. As you can see, Yudachi torps are there. Now, we have twist and track. Neither of those other two destroyers have twist and track. I am still, to this moment, not located. And so you can see I'm lining up a torp strike on this Yamato. And there's a reload booster, because, again, that's a thing on destroyers, as you give the things that have 4.5 kilometers surface detection, like this Yudachi, an opportunity to reload his torpedoes instantly. You gotta love it. But this Yudachi does the exact same thing that Suja just did, and he gives me a broadside. You've got to assume that torpedoes are on the way, guys. It is a thing. You see a Shima, if you see a destroyer, you have torpedoes en route. You know this. The best thing that you can do is either bow tank those torpedoes, the direction of the torpedoes are coming from, right? You go bow in, and you try to take the torpedo on the belt, as we're about to punish this Yamato's bow with torpedoes. There's 23,000 damage and a 19,500 damage. 2 torpedo hits, 60,000 damage. Close enough. It's like 40,000 damage from those 2 torps, but you get the picture at this point. But that's exactly what you cannot do in a situation where you've got a destroyer. You can't just turn broadside, because you're gonna get punished. You know the torpedoes are there. Those torpedoes do not discriminate. They don't care what ship you're in. They're going to wreck your day. I don't care how big of a torpedo reduction you have. Yamato has the best torp reduction in the game. Didn't help him, did it? And that's the thing. The other thing about torpedoes is that you just don't have, like, torpedo protection in this game is so random that you never know what you're going to get out of it. Like, there are times where torpedo protection works, and it halves the damage of, well, it does whatever your torpedo damage reduction is. But for the Yamato, for instance, it halves the damage of the torpedo. Instead of getting hit for 23, you get hit for 12.5 or 13. And that's huge. That is a huge, huge thing when it happens. But you can take 3 freaking torpedoes on your torpedo belt. One of them will actually be reduced, and everything else goes through with full damage. So, I don't know if it's a system as where your torpedo protection can only take a certain amount of damage, much like your hull, or much like your bow or your superstructure, it's allocated a certain amount of damage. But you can see, we're starting to spread the love among the enemy team here, and we're reaching out, we're touching people. We took out the Cleveland radar. He realized he was screwed. He tried to radar me right at the last possible second. Didn't help him a whole lot. And this Conqueror's about to have a real bad time too, because he's about to take 2. Unfortunately, we only get him with 2 and only take 2/3 of his health and leave him alive, and it's a Conqueror, so he's going to be able to heal that back, or at least a good chunk of it back, because Conqueror, with that giant heal of theirs, can actually heal critical damage, unlike a lot of ships. You can heal a lot more critical damage than any other ships. Now, Alaska here, I'm not going to lie, I was feeling pretty solid about that one torpedo slipping over the bow of that Cleveland, but it doesn't matter because our team manages to finish him off. And this game completely steamrolled. Why? Because I held this side down with the help of a Suja. I held this side down. Look at how many enemies were over here. We had the Alaska, we had the Yudachi, we had the Shimakaze, we had the Conqueror, we had the Yamato, we had the Cleveland. That's over half of their team. It's like 2/3 of their team, actually. And so we had all that up against us, and because I'm in a freaking ninja ship that cannot be detected, unless I want it to be detected, I'm able to completely dismantle this side of the map. Now, sure, I didn't do the most damage, but in a destroyer, it's not always about getting damage, and I've shown many a times where in a destroyer, all I've done is run around, cap bases, and spot, and my team has walked away with a victory, and I've walked away with over 2,500 base XP, doing less than 20,000 damage. So that's why I say that the destroyers are the the most broken class. Not only do they have the ability to carry a match without doing damage, but they also have the ability to absolutely carry a match by just destroying anything in front of them. But 118,000 damage, not a bad game damage-wise. We get a Dev Strike, we get a hold our side. A big shout out to the Suja for the help. And if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.